Here we have a question on multiplying and, well, first of all, subtraction. Now, I'm going to show you the standard way of doing this, 700 take away 547, and then I'm going to show you the sensible way of doing this. Now, if you can do these, great, use this method, but it is very tricky to get this right. For 1 mark, there's a lot of ways this can go wrong, but this is how it's done. So, 0 take away 7 we can't do. We should borrow from this column, but we can't, so we go to the hundreds and borrow 100 from there to make 10 tens. And then we borrow one of those tens to leave with 9 tens and put one of those tens in here. So what we've done is we shared out this 100 from this column into a 90 and a 10. So we shared it out into different columns. And then we can do the subtraction. 10 take away 7 is 3. 9 take away 4, or 90 take away 40 is 50. And 6 take away 5 is 1, or 600 take away 500 is 100. And that's 153. Now if you're the sort of person that finds that tricky and make mistakes on that, then you don't really need to do that. I would suggest you start with the small number and just add on to the next 10, then add on to the next 100, and then get to the answer. So if I'm going from here to here, I need to add on 3, and then to get to the next 100 I need to add on 50, then to get to the answer I need to add on 100. So I've added on 153, and that's the most straightforward way to do subtraction without actually doing any subtraction. Multiplying out 3 digit by 2 digit numbers, standard question, pretty much always going to be asked on a foundation exam. It's not a calculator, so you can't resort to a calculator. You have to have a method of doing this. Now the traditional method looks something like this, and I'll just run through this for those that use this method and make sure they're doing it right. Again, I wouldn't recommend this if you can't get it right 90%, 95% of the time. So 6 4s are 24, I carry a 2. 6 5s are 30, plus 2 is 32, carry the 3. 6 3s are 18, plus 3 is 21. Then I'm timesing by this 2, but that 2 is actually 20, so I need to put a 0 down first because it's 20. 2 4s are 8. 2 5s are 10, carry 1. And 2 3s are 6, plus the 1 is 7. Now we've got to be careful not to add on these little numbers I put in here. So 4 and 0 is 4, 2 and 8 is 10, carry 1, 1, 0 and 1 is 2, and 2 and 7 is 9. So that is the answer, 9,204. But if you can't use this method, the most common method used currently by most people that can't use the traditional method is a grid method, where you have 350 and 4 times by 20 and 6. It doesn't matter if you've got the 20 and 6 on this side or this side. And then we work out 4 2s are 8 with a 0 on the end, 5 2s are 10 with a 0 and another 0, and 3 2s are 6 with 1, 2, 3 zeros. And the problem with this method, although it's quite nicely organized and set out, is twofold. One is the zeros is the main problem. 6 3s are 30 with a 0, 3 6s are 18 with 2 zeros. So you've got to make sure you've got the right number of zeros on each part, and then you've got to do an addition on the side. Some people do it as they go along, but it's totally up to you. Add up all the numbers, biggest to smallest, and you should get the same answer that we had before, 9204. But these zeros always cause issues. These ones in here somewhere, it's going to make a mistake. This is a 3-mark question, and if you only make 1 mistake, you're going to get 2 out of 3 for it. So it's worth setting it out like this to get most of the marks. And if you get it right, obviously you get all 3. My current favourite method for doing multiplication, which I think is very good, is a sort of combination of the two. So if we have a grid method but with diagonals in each box, the diagonals sort out your adding and get rid of your zeros. So we don't put any zeros in the question. We've got 3, 5, 4, 2 and 6, and we just multiply. 4 by 2 is 8, so that's 0, 8. 5, this is the tens and this is the units. 5 2s are 10, 1 10 no units, 3 2s are 6, 0 10 and 6 units. 4 6s are 24. 5 6s are 30. Now the good thing about this method is it just relies on you knowing your tables. 3 6s are 18. No worrying about extra zeros, no complicated carries and putting extra zeros in the, and everything is straightforward and well set out. And then to finish with, even the adding is all done in the diagonals to make life easy for you. So this first diagonal has just got the number 4 in it. Let's just change colour for this. So we've got the number 4. This diagonal we've got 8, 2 and 0, which is 10, and I carry 1 into this column just like I would if I was adding. 3 and 8 is 11 plus 1 is 12. Again I'm going to carry 1, and I go down this diagonal. 1 and 6 is 7, 8 and 9. So I get 9, 2, 0, 4. There's nothing here, so that doesn't count. So 9, 2, 0, 4. Really nice method, nice and compact, doesn't avoids the zeros, and is quite quick. But does require practice if you haven't used it before.